So, all right, so it should be live now. We're just gonna wait. We'll wait a couple minutes and then we'll get everything started. I want to check on Facebook and see if I can see if everything's working properly on my end.
Okay.
I don't hear the crazy echoing, so that's good. And I just
Yeah, I guess we did.
yep, and I think I just saw us live, so I think it's good to go. Let me
Okay.
go back to my profile again. It was on there a second ago, so I think we're good on there. We go one more.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll wait for a couple more people to get in and we'll start. All right, it's good.
Okay.
All right, and then YouTube. I can. It's starting to cool down now, cause so I don't know if they do this in DC, but I have Smeco, and so when everyone's using their energy at the same time, it'll have like a little red light, the a thermometer or whatever, like whatever you want to call it, and you can't
Um,
temperature yourself. You have it's like controlled manually by someone else or by the
gotcha.
computer. So it
Got,
turned it off. Now I can actually control my stuff. So it's something like it's cooling down a little bit. And it looks
gotcha.
like we are live. All right, cool. So it's a little bit of a delay. So it looks like it's working. We're working. We're going. Okay. All right. Like I said, we're gonna wait a few more minutes to see if some other folks want to trickle in, and then we will get started. Like it's perfect because it'll be on YouTube channel for if anybody want to watch it later. So that's perfect. And
Okay.
the podcast earlier today, so anybody that picks up the podcast, they can see it as well. And then, like I said, you'll be able to see later on the bottom of the screen. It says "An Innocent Man." Buy now on Amazon. So perfect. I know
Gotcha.
I did want to see if I could put something. I'll put it in the chat right now for the video in the comments, so they can go directly to your book if they want to go from there
Okay.
on Amazon.
Cool.
Yeah, and that'll be in the comments. Boom. There's also a chat that I can use on here as well, which is pretty cool. But I'll have that pulled up and I'll monitor it later. All right. Ready to rock and roll at 7:02, so we'll get things started. All right. So thank you everybody for joining us today. This is All In Society and Friends. This is the second episode. First episode was with poker player and World Series of Poker bracelet winner Yasser Al Khaladar. He won a bracelet at the World Series of Poker in a limit hold'em tournament. He won over $100,000. I'm pretty sure. I think it was $163,000 if I can remember. Or it could be a little bit more than that. That's just what's cemented in my head. So you've probably seen him in the poker room, Derek, from time to time. He plays every once in a while. So he had a great interview. So hopefully we can get the ball running and we'll have another great year. So to get things started, I definitely want to read over the summary of your book, especially because today is September 5th. So, anybody wants to join in and read, or if anybody wants to go directly to Derek's book, Derek, tell them where they can find your book at.
You can go on Amazon and purchase my book called Innocent Man. Uh, Paperback 14.99, the Kindle 9.99.
Yes. Yes. So, before I get into this, I'll just tell you how Derek and I met. So, I recently left MGM Casino in Maryland. I worked in the poker department, and Derek used to come up and check on us every. This is when I worked on day shift, so every morning, probably 7 o'clock in the morning, Derek, you would come up and check on us every day and just
About
see.
7 or 8 my lunch break. Yeah, about 7 or 8. Yep, 7.
Yep,
Yep, 7 o'clock.
you work on grave shift, right?
Grave shift. Yep.
Yep. So every morning, well, there was an incident that occurred, and because of that incident, Derek and I became more friendly with one another. And he used to come up. I think you probably used to come up and talk to Kyle at first. And then you and I started communicating because you started talking about the Wizards. And so we had shared similar interests with the Wizards. We have since gone to Wizards games together. We talked about in the podcast earlier today that we went to the Lakers game when LeBron came and he passed Magic
Right.
Johnson all-time scoring list. So
Right.
that was a night to remember. I took some photos that night and some videos. It was a packed house. We were behind the basket uh,
Right.
uh, in the standing area opposed to seats that night. The seats were expensive, so I think
Behind the courtside seats. Yeah, we had VIP. It was like we come out the VIP, we was right behind the stand up behind the courtside seat. They was a very expensive ticket. It was a good game tonight too. Yeah.
right. So yeah, that was everybody was in there. Them tickets were not cheap that night.
Nope.
Yep. So we've gone to the Washington Wizards games together, and we also just recently came back from Atlanta. We went to Invest Fest together. So that was an amazing opportunity for Derek. He had an opportunity to sell some books. Derek, you want to share any more information or insight on how that?
Uh, like I said earlier, just networking, meet with the right people, and a lot of people's interested in my story. That was it. Just networking and sharing your story. That's all I did. Yeah, and I just sold a couple books, and that was it. Met two, good interacting people. It was good. So networking, so it was a blessing. It was
Yeah,
good.
he met Ash Cash, so he learned. We networked with him, and I believe it was a guy that worked kind of underneath him, right, or
Yes,
alongside
sir.
that.
Yep.
Yep. So Ash Cash definitely someone that you can he's an author himself, so definitely somebody you can network with and hopefully meet the right people in order to move the needle and do some things that you want to do in the future, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. All right. Well, this was great because the podcast we didn't really get a good feel. There's not a visual. People can't really see who you are. But this is great. People have a great a feel of who you are just from watching already if they don't know you. And so when we go into the book and share your life story and why you wrote the book, believe that'll really hit home and because it'll really show. And I talked about in the podcast how you and I don't really know how to say this, but Derek has been through a lot. I know he's been through more than I believe that I'd be able to go through. And but yet he has such a big heart. He's such a kind person. He lives. He has strong faith. That's for sure. And he lives life with joy each and every day. I haven't heard him say anything negative about anybody. If he did, you probably deserved it. So uh, just it's just amazing that what testament what type of person Derek is, despite everything that he's gone through in life. So I definitely want to, as I just said that, I want to read the summary of his book. So in the early morning of September 5th, 1998, which is 25 years ago, District of Columbia Police Dispatch received a 911 call of an unresponsive man. The police found 59-year-old Raymond Prillman lying face down on the ground of his first floor bedroom in his northeast home, dead of a single stab wound to the upper part of his chest. There was no evidence of a break-in or forced entry. Responding officers found the murder weapon, a 3-inch black-handled kitchen knife, on the stoop just outside the back door. There were red stains that appeared to be blood on the money, as well as a trail of red droplets leading up the stairs to the second floor. The police concluded that someone from inside the house killed Raymond, and the only two people inside the home were Raymond's sons, Derek and Mark Prillman. The boys were taken to police headquarters, placed in separate interview rooms, and questioned for hours by DC detectives. The detectives deceived, pressured, and threatened them both. After hours of grueling interrogation, Derek Prillman falsely confessed to a crime he did not commit to protect his younger brother from being falsely accused of the murder. 1 year later, Derek was exonerated and released from jail. Now, Derek, what do you remember from that night? And tell us why you chose to write this book and tell your story.
That night, like I said, I was wrote the book. I was 18. My brother Mark was 15. That night, just happened to wake up. I'm gonna say had to be between the hours maybe 3, 4 a.m. Just let me go, just get something to drink. I go downstairs, and as in the living room to the kitchen, the door from the living room to the kitchen. As I open the door, and my dad slept in the back room because the light was out. So as I go towards the refrigerator just to get something to drink, like somebody said, as I open the refrigerator, I look at light and I happen to see a foot. So when I go to his room, pool of blood. I'm crying, I'm shocked, I'm trauma, I'm shaking, and I go upstairs, wake my brother up. He comes down. He was 15 time Mark. He was crying. We just both grieving, hurting, just traumatized. We didn't know what
How
had
old were you
happened.
at the time?
So I was 18. Mark was 15.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So we had to go upstairs to um I'm sorry, downstairs because the phone was in his room. Went from the living room to his bedroom. So we had to pull the jack out to go upstairs to make the 911 call. So as we make the 911 call that morning, the paramedics came over, turned to him, said he passed away. So the police came in, took me and my brother down the homicide building for questioning and interrogating us for 12 hours. And I'm telling these cops, I'm going to say their names. Quote me, Detective Daryl Richmond, Linda Fowler, and Kaufman. They was, excuse me, mean and awful, just dirty cops. But they interrogate me and my brother. They had us in separate rooms. They just kept interrogating me. From this, I want to say this too, as I'm speaking. I want a young brother never do a false confession. I made a false. They tricked me to a false confession so I could protect my brother. I was tired, my mental health, and I made a mistake, and that was my fault on that part. But like I said, we see this on TV. Police just tell you lies and lies and lies. So like I said, write my book just to have my truth out. It was time. Been 25 years of my dad's death. Closure, and I want to get justice. Have his girlfriend Catherine Shaw charged with the murder, and yeah, this is my book, you all. Like I said, I was an innocent man, and this is where I lost. My pops was my best friend. Um, on my book in page 12, um, this is what I had woke up to. My dad laying there in the pool of blood, Trump coming down the steps. It's just awful. And the police tell me at the homicide when they found the knife, the paring knife in the backyard. So I'm going through it all, and I'm just hurting and I'm suffering, and it just been hell for me. But like I said, by the grace of God, I stayed strong. I did 13 months in jail. When I got out, I just prayed every day and had to stay strong. So I'm here today talking to my friend Claude, and just hope I can, with my story, I just want to save lives, touch people, and just keep pushing forward, keep it going. And I'm standing strong. Like I said, in DC jail, man, I could have committed suicide. I could have did anything, just hated myself. But I knew I was innocent. I had to fight for this fight. And God, I thank God because God was with me. The first lawyer I had named Christopher Swaby, you're 18, you're 19 years old. I never had dealt with public defenders, and inmates kept saying, "Get on your case, do what you gotta do." And I noticed each time he comes to visit, he's talking about pleading guilty. So I'm like, dude, I'm fighting for my life. So I had to go to the law library. I couldn't think of that young brother's name, but I wanted to thank him for helping me. So what I did, I filed a letter to the judge called motion to suppress. What
Okay.
evidence they don't have on me, they have to let me go. So I went to court. I got removed from the case. The judge I had was Judge Shuker. She had stated to me, she got my letter. She said she had the right to have me locked up till I plead guilty or less guilty or lesser crime. But she said I had a right for an attorney. So I had Mr. Joseph Metcalf. He's been a godsend. He's my best friend to this day. We talk like father and son we talk twice like every week. So it was a blessing. Like I said, just writing this book, just learn your, just like I said, just want to learn your rights, know your rights, and like I said, just want to come out this, and I want to just travel. the world. I love to travel, just speak to young brothers, young youth about my story, and just can save lives. And I preached to people a year ago, bought my book, supported me. I love you all. The people I've talked to see this video. Like I said, you can go on Amazon, get my book, or you can reach out to me on my Facebook page, Derek Perlman. You can inbox me or Instagram, D_Perlman. And my Facebook profile picture, Instagram is the cover of my book. Just like this, you'll see you all. So, like I said, if you can support me, I appreciate it. Thank you all, and Claude, brother, thank you for letting me come on and share my story. And it's time for me to have closure. And I want you all to see this video. Please keep me in prayer because I'm trying to get my dad's case reopened. I want his girlfriend, Catherine Shaw, to go to jail. She needs to go to jail. The sad part was I would never forget these police officers because they lied to me. They knew the day of the murder. She called and confessed. They didn't say anything. And that shows you a lot of cops shouldn't be detectives. They dirty and they don't care about innocent black men's lives. So, like I said, thank you all. Appreciate it. Love you all for watching. Claude, like he said, shared my link to my book. If you purchase, I appreciate it. I promise I can, if you in the DMV area, reach out to me. I can sign it, no problems. And people know me out of town. If I come visit a family out of town, I sign it with no problem. That's all I want to say. Thanks and one love and God bless everyone and love you guys. That's that's it.
Yep. Yep. So we went to Atlanta together. We went to Invest Fest, and it wasn't too many people that Derek had a stack of books, and there weren't too many people that Derek reached out and had a conversation with and showed them the book that did not purchase the book. So I think that was great. I believe, 45, 50 pages. So it's a quick read. It's a book that you pick up on the weekend and finish, and then you can share it with your friends and family as well. Have share the link so they can purchase the book themselves. And then if you are local, as Derek said, he will sign the book for you. Um, Give you a reason to come on over to MGM, get your gamble on, and then see Derek and have him sign the book if you're there during the time while he's there. Or maybe you guys can link up the other time. I don't want to speak for Derek, but I know he's more than willing to sign the books for you. But Derek, I did want to dive a little bit deeper. So, what is the state of the case right now?
Right now, far as I know, um, about a month ago, I'm sorry, 2 months ago, I went to DA's office to get my dad's case reopened so I can get his girlfriend charged for the murder. But they told me I had to make appointments. So right now the case is closed. So you all, like I said, watching this will keep me in prayer. I'm trying to get all that done. I can have closure, justice, and peace, and just go forward. We all got to have closure and justice and peace in our lives because a lot of people, families are losing each other, being murdered, and a lot of police don't want to do anything. And I just noticed a couple months, maybe a month or two, people in Fort Washington just got their closure. I think 44 years of a murder. They caught a suspect for killing someone's family. It took them 44 years to grieve, and now they got just they can easy rest in peace, have their peace of mind. So that's it. So I gotta say,
Right. How is your brother doing right now?
my brother's doing fine. He's good. He lives. Mark is 40 years old. You all. He lives in Florida. Got 4 boys, and I'm gonna go down soon, do some uncle time, spend some time with my nephews, and that's it, man. Just living life and doing what we gotta do, enjoying life until it's time for us to leave this earth.
Yeah,
That's it.
absolutely. Absolutely. You said you said you enjoyed traveling and you wanted to travel and speak your truth and help other young men. And my suggestion was because the amount of traveling and everything and it adds up, there's costs to that, right? Um, now
Right.
now if you have your book picks up traction and then you have access to funds to do those things, that'd be awesome. But my suggestion was, and I believe a lot of people should, they should start their own podcast. The equipment and everything is definitely reasonable, but if not, I believe maybe there needs to be a podcast studio. I don't know how many podcast studios or just studios that are open and available to access for someone like yourself, for myself to come in and record the episodes and get what they need to do within a couple hours and then out the door. Maybe that's a business that I need to dive into. But I believe you, like I said, you're more than welcome to come on here and whenever we do live interviews or we can discuss football, we can talk about the Wizards, some of the Wizards games.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure. We'll talk about the Wizards. Give you opportunity to come on more often to get your book out there to the masses because you have it's a I don't for a lack of a better word, an amazing story um, from an amazing man, and you're wanting to help others from your account for everything that you've been through, and I think that's amazing. And hopefully, we'll continue to go to events like Invest Fest or other conferences, and you meet the right people, you network with the right people, and you get the book to your right people, and everything that you and I have discussed off camera, you have the opportunity to do and really tell your story the way that you really want to tell your story. But I think you're doing a great job right now. I've witnessed it, and I've seen people within 5 minutes, of you having a conversation about your book. They're going into their phones to cash app you, or they're women opening their purses and getting you cash to purchase the book. So it's it's awesome because I know it's not easy to it's not easy to go up to somebody and sell them something, right?
Right.
But I think it's a little bit easier. You're telling your story, right?
Absolutely.
Hmm. Yep. So it was awesome to watch. I wish we had opportunity to do a little bit more than we did at Best Fest and talk to one specific person. Do you want to mention who that specific person is?
I talked to Ash Cash. She's an author, best number one seller and stuff. I believe it's a celebrity life coach and everything. He's number one bestseller in the world. He's real
Who
good. Yeah.
who else was on stage that you wanted to speak to?
On stage, I couldn't be. Well, I told some of y'all know me, the comedian. I'm gonna say Steve Harvey wanted to try to, reach out to him about my story, but I know he had a lot going on, so I really couldn't get to him. But I just wanted to just get it out there, and yeah, man, just keep it moving, man. That's it.
Right, right. Hopefully next year when we this was just the trial run. Now we saw what InvestFest is all about. It's probably going to be bigger and better next year. And they were saying next year someone new will be on stage. If that's your goal, you'll be on stage telling your story, or you have your own booth selling your book and telling your story there. I think that's easily something that you can do. And I'm here to help you, and I'm sure you have plenty other people in your corner as far as your family and friends in the DMV area to make sure that happens. I mean, you got Christian who's done it before, so he can give you the steps and show you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
Y'all can do something tandem. Y'all split the booth. You tell your story with the book, and then they sell their chargers and everything. And
Right.
we need to have Christian on here probably next, and have him on here soon to sell his products and his business as well. So,
Right.
yep, yep. But yeah, it was great talking to you. We've been on here
You
for
too.
23 minutes, so I don't want to keep you any longer than I know you're a busy man and got to do with the rest of your day. So I don't want to keep you on here too much longer. Anything else that you want to tell the folks, or do you want to um, leave them with anything before we get off here?
Like I say, just thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you can support me, get my book, and please support my brother Claude and his podcast. Tune in, watch, and do everything you can. Like I said, here's my book again, called Innocent Man. It's on Amazon again, paperback 14.99, Kindle 9.99. That's it. Just trying to get my story out there and just gonna save lives. I appreciate it. Thank you all again. One love.
Yes. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining our second episode of All in Society and Friends. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tune in on Facebook or tune in on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. I will put the links for Derek's book in the YouTube description as well. So enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good night.